the recording. Okay. All
20
right, good morning.
February, Rabbi Furst, Mishna Berura.
Morning again. This is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here. You see with Samanapsi here in Shalim. We are learning our second share, Mishnah Berura, Hilchos Purim, and we'll begin now in Siman. Continuing Siman Tuf Reish Pechet in Sif Vav. Sif Vav. Barry or Eliezer Tzli, who would like to read?
Barry, doing great. Why don't you continue?
No, I'm worn out.
Or
Okay.
Lou, maybe Lou, how do you
I'm
feel? Whoever likes to, Lou, if you want to read, you can read if you're feeling up to it.
Okay, I'll do it. Nobody jumping. I'll do it.
Okay. Sif Vav.
Yom Tesvav Shechalios b'Shabbos, when the 15th occurs on Shabbos. Ein Korin HaMegillah b'Shabbos. You don't read the Megillah on Shabbos. Makdimin Likros b'Erev Shabbos. You read on the 14th. V'govin Maos Matanos. V'aniyim Mechalkin Otam Bo Bayome. And you do Matanos of Yonim and Shalach Manos on the 14th. Yom Shabbos Motzin Shnei Sfarim, Ubisheni Korin Vayova Amalek. And on Shabbos you read from two Sifrei Torah, and you read Yova Amalek as the maftir. But Omrim Alanisim, and you still say Alanisim on the 15th. Ein Osim Sudas Purim Ad Yom Echad B'Shabbos. And you don't do the Sudas Purim until Sunday. Now aren't Matanos of Shalach Manos tied to Sudas Purim, and would that be Sunday? Did I misstate that?
Yeah, well, they are tied to the Sunday. So
it's only Matanos of Yonim that are done on Friday, but the Shalach Manos waits till Sunday.
Yeah, in general, they usually goes together with the Suda. Let's see. We'll see the Mishnah Berura.
Okay, Mishnah Berura is Vav Yudalid. Yom Tesvav Shechalios b'Shabbos. Ilu Yudalid Efshel L'chol b'Shabbos. But Yudalid can never fall out on Shabbos according to the way our calendar works.
Right. That's number one. Good.
Ein Kohen, we don't read the Megillah on the 15th. Because Rabbanan Shem Yalach Eitzel Chacham Lelamda E Kriyaso, because they're afraid people are going to go out on Shabbos with their Megillahs and there's no Erev, and they're going to go to Chacham to have them teach them how to read it. Okay, the Avrienu Arba Amos b'Shus Rabim. They're going to go walk 4 Amos, Dalet Amos b'Shus Rabim without an Erev. So that's why I don't read on Shabbos. HaMegillah b'Shabbos, you don't read the Megillah on Shabbos. Ba'az Yom HaShabbos Chesel Adar Hu Parsha Zachar. However, the 8th of Adar, which would be the Shabbos before, then is going to be Shabbos, is going to be Parsha Zachar. Maftir and Pakadati, and we read the Maftir of Zachar, Pakadati, I guess, which is the standard Maftir for Parsha Zachar on the 8th. V'gam v'tesvav l'adar maftirin Pakadati, and you read the same Maftir on the 15th of Adar. Okay. Bakrivan.
Bekrachim.
Of the Krachim.
Right, in the walled cities.
Okay. Because they would be observing the Purim on that day. Maftirin b'seder Ashura. But in the Arias, the regular cities, then we read the regular Maftir for that day.
Right.
Excuse me. Visholin v'darshan bo b'yom Hilchos Purim. And you can still ask and explain Hilchos Purim on that day. So you're involved in the yonim of the day. Excuse me. B'chol yosin al day kriyas Megillah. And I guess when the 15th falls on a weekday, you would do kriyas Megillah on that day.
And that's how you yotzi sholim medarshim, right? You yotzi, because that the Megillah is the drasha, so to speak, for Purim. It was reading of the actual
Very good.
Megillah.
Okay, Om Al Nisim on Shabbos on the 15th. Lo be'erev Shabbos. You don't say it on the 14th.
Oh.
So the question. So is that the minhag that in Yerushalayim you say Al Nisim on the 15th? You don't say it on the 14th.
Right, and a regular, like for example, this year when the 14th is on Yom Chamishi, so it's a regular day for us in terms of our prayers. But we don't say Tachanan, but there's no Al Nisim neither in Birkas Hamazon or in
Interesting.
the Tefillah, right?
Okay. Where's it? V'om Al Nisim b'Shabbos. Lo be'erev Shabbos shebe emes the krachim zemanim b'tesvav, because in truth the day for Purim on the krachim would be on the 15th. Below b'yadada, not on the fall. Excuse me, and not on the 14th. V'rak mishum gezerah kinirli. Excuse me. He truly crows hamegillah be'erev Shabbos. It's only because of the gezerah that they went ahead and read the Megillah on the 14th.
Right.
We call Malcolm
as we mentioned, the gezerah, as we mentioned above, meaning they don't want the Chas v'Sholom carry the Megillah b'Rosh Hashanah, so therefore they made a gezerah, and even though Tezvav is really the day of Purim, but we can't read the Megillah because of the gezerah.
Oh, so Kanal Cain Nazkir La'el. Okay.
In this as we mentioned above.
Right. Okay, fine. When we call Malcolm, and in every place, Im Amar Ein Makzirato. If you went, I guess to say, if you said Al Nisim on the 14th in Yerushalayim, they wouldn't tell you to go back and do it over again.
Right. It's not. If you did it by mistake, so they'll let you. The prayer will, the Shmon Esrei or the Birkas Hamazon will stand.
You're Yotze.
Yeah.
Yes. The Cain Ein Motzin Bo Sefer Torah. You don't take out a Sefer Torah on the 14th is what we're talking about?
Right, on the 14th, right. Just like you don't say Al Nisim on the 14th, you don't take a Sefer Torah out on the 14th.
Okay. Le'arayos omrim Al Nisim b'Yudalid lo b'Tesvav. And in the cities, you would say Al Nisim on the 14th and not on the 15th. The ear misafech imhim mukafas miyosu shum ben nun. And a city where there is a suffix, whether it's about whether it was walls in the times of Yeshua ben Nun, or Al Nisim b'Shnei Yomim. You say Al Nisim on the 14th and on the 15th. Okay. The Ein Osin Sudas Purim on the Adyo Mechad until Sunday of Ein Osin. Damrinim b'Yushalmi, because it says in the Yushalmi, Yasu Osam b'Shabbos. Why don't you make the Suda on Shabbos? Amar lo, Yemei Mishteh, because it says days of celebration. It's written. Es she simchaso talil bebeis din. That the simcha is dependent on the beis din. Yatza zeh Shabbos says simchaso bidei shemayim hu. Okay, so when it says you may mishta, it says these are days that were declared by Beis Din, which excludes Shabbos, which is a day of simcha based on from Hashem.
You're right. It's a fixed day. It's the calendar is fixed for Shabbos. Every week it comes without Beis Din, but the day of Purim is determined upon when the Beis Din actually declares the Rosh Chodesh.
Oh, so they have the right to postpone it.
If they made if it was one day Rosh Chodesh or 2 days exactly.
Or for the also for the Purim Suda to postpone it till Sunday.
Right, that's exactly
They had the right.
Right,
Yep.
exactly.
והוא הדין ממילא ששלוח מנוס גם ביום הראשון בשבס. And
Oh.
it's clear from this that it's clear from this that Shalach Manos is also going to be on Yom Rishon.
That's what you would mention earlier, right?
והנה המריו חביב הארך להוכיח דבבלי שלנו אין סובר קיין. Shalanu Ein Sover Kane. And the Maharil.
Chaviv, that's his name. That's his name. Mario Chaviv.
Oh, that's his name.
He
explains in lane.
Elaborate. Yeah, very good, right?
Uh,
That the Bavli, meaning up till now we've been explaining the Rishalmi, but the Mari Chaviv explains at length that the Bavli Shalanu, meaning our Talmud, no Svirlikin. They don't. It doesn't. There's a discrepancy between the Rishalmi and the Bavli.
On what you on when the Suda will be.
Right. What to do on Shabbos? Exactly with the
Okay.
Suda.
Vidaito Suda he Shabbos, and according to his opinion, the Suda should be on Shabbos.
Right.
Va'asa Kain Ma'aseh b'Yushalayim, and that was also done in Yerushalayim.
I mean, that's the way the Maisa was done in Yerushalayim. In Yerushalayim, they actually would have the Suda on Shabbos.
V'gam Shalach Manos b'Shabbos, he would also give gifts on Shabbos. Ki Hamanos Haim Me'asud Hasud also, because the purpose of giving Shalach Manos is part of the Suda.
Right. That's an important thing. Meaning, like, we'll get to it as we get further on into the actual halachas. I'll just mention it now about the Shalach Manos. So people have a tendency to give the candies and asherai and things like this. But really, according to the Gemara, first of all, the Gemara didn't have all these. You didn't just go into the local supermarket and have 2 aisles of asherai to pick from, right? So in the time of the Gemara, they actually gave food, right? If you look at the Gemara, it talks about giving, a calf or fish. It talked about giving actual food, because that was the whole point, that people should have a Suda. It's very hard to have a Purim Suda on potato chips and popcorn, and Hershey's candy bars. If you drink wine with potato chips and Hershey's candy bars and popcorn, you're going to be pretty sick pretty quick, right? So you don't want to do that. But again, your betzim halacha is your yotzi. If a person gives a bag of popcorn and a bag of Hershey candy bars, so he will in fact be yotzi shalach manos. But the intent of shalach manos is you should have what to eat and enjoy a suda with, right? So that's why that in the machlokas we see between the Bavli and the Yerushalmi, that they even, according to the Bavli, the Mari Chaviv, in Yerushalayim, they would in fact have the Sudas Purim on Shabbos, and they would also do Shalach Manos here in Purim as well, because that was the necessities of having a proper Suda, a feast. You want to have a feast, you want to have a lot of good food to eat and enjoy.
Verad Baz Chelek, Simon Kufman Vav Pasak Shulchan Aruch.
The Chelik Aleph, Chelik in the first
Oh,
volume.
Chelik Aleph, Chelik Aleph. Simon Kufman Pasak Kishul. He's passes like the Shulchan Aruch. The Cain who Gam Cain Das Magen Avram the Korban Asano Utshuas Noda Yehuda. All these people, Chelik Aleph Simon Membeis, Bnei Hapri Chodesh Oser, the Taltel Megillah B'Shabbos Me'achar She'ein Korenbo, and the Pri Chodesh Osers carrying Megillah on Shabbos after you, since you're not going to read from it, or after you,
right.
since you're not going to read from it.
Right.
Vakama Achronim Cholkin Allah, but many are argue this and permit it. So what is the Shulchan? So Shulchan Aruch says you do the Suda on Yud Aleph, on Yom Aleph.
Right, on Sunday, right? Sunday is the Suda, Suda is the Sunday is the Suda. Right,
Okay, in spite of what the Bavli says, the halach.
right, exactly.
Okay. Okay. Okay, Zion.
Yeah.
Hamafresh bayam v'hayotze. Excuse me.
B'sha'ira, and that's a
B'sha'ira.
caravan, a caravan.
Okay, so somebody's on the ocean or somebody's traveling on a caravan. Motzi Megillah v'holech imo, and he cannot bring a Megillah with him. Would you not bring a Megillah with him?
Meaning he didn't find lo motzi Megillah laholi. He didn't find the Megillah to bring
To take with him.
Meaning he's setting out on an ocean voyage or a caravan, and in those days you didn't have much of a choice. You didn't have 12 and a half flights going to New York from Tel Aviv every day. So
Right.
if you wanted to travel, you had to travel when the boats were leaving or the caravans were setting out, and sometimes he would find himself planning to be away from a civilization and maybe even from a whole settlement of Jews and a minion of Jews, and he'll be Purim all by himself. So in that case, he's obligated to try and get himself a Megillah. But again, our days, Baruch Hashem, you can probably seeing the signs they're having you read Megillahs. You can go find hundreds and hundreds of different kinds of Megillahs now. And they're, Baruch Hashem, we have a Shefa, bracha of all kinds of ruchnis and gashmias, but it wasn't so easy to find a Megillah in those days, and it was probably very expensive as well. So if he was setting out on a ocean voyage or a trip along the deserts with a caravan, if he couldn't find a Megillah, so what's he supposed to do?
So Yakrina b'yud gimel or b'yud beis or b'echad asar below bracha. So we'd read it on the 13th or the 12th or the 11th without a bracha. The efshar lahamtin ad yom halal, but you can't get any earlier than these days. Yeshom, and those who say shekora afilu b'tzklias hachodesh, that you're allowed. There are those who say you're allowed to read the Megillah even from the beginning of Adar.
Oh, very good.
Haga, the hachi nahog. This is how we practice. Umihu im nizdamen lo la'achachach Megillah. If he finds a Megillah, however, if he finds a Megillah afterwards, choser b'koreoso b'yom yudal, then he should read it on the 14th. Afil korata afilas b'yom gimel, even if he read it earlier on the 13th day. Mikol makom koraoso shelo umikol makom koraoso shelo bisman.
So you would read it without a bracha?
Yeah, you should read, because you could read it even from, there are those that say you can read it even from Rosh Chodesh Adar, but he reads without a bracha. Now the question is about that is Yud Gimel, Yud Beis, right? Or Yud Aleph, he can read, but again, all those days without a bracha. It's not really the time to read the Megillah. So he reads, and he's Yotzi with that, but he can't read it with a bracha.
So what's the last word in the Hagab? It says ubikol makom kora oso shelo bismano, and in all cases you would read it outside of its time. I don't understand what he's saying.
Okay, he says so again he says like this. However, im is done kach Megillah. I mean, let's say he read on Yud Gimel. He read on
right,
Yud
and then
Gimel,
he finds a Megillah,
and then he got himself a Megillah, right? He said, "Oh, Barry, I heard you're looking for Megillah. I finally got one for you. Oh, too bad you didn't tell me yesterday. I just read the Megillah yesterday." So therefore, Koro so biyom Dalet. So he's going to be now on Yud He's going to be at set C already, or in the middle of the midbar on Yud. So afilu Koro mitchilu biyom Yud Gimel. Even if he read at the beginning of the Yom of Yud Gimel, Mikol Makom Koro also Shelo Bismano. It's still, if he even read on the day of Yud Gimel, it's still considered reading Lo Bismano. So then he's going to have to go back and read again.
Oh, okay, I fine. I didn't quite understand how to parse it. Okay, very good.
All right.
Okay. Mr. Berura, Eino Motzi Megillah, he doesn't find the Megillah. V'im Haya Motzi, if he finds one, Mechayev Lekacha Likros Biyad, Biyadalit. That he's chayav to take it and read on the 14th.
Right.
Yikran B'Yom Gimel, he reads on the 13th. Bekibutz Asara in a group of 10. Deshrobas Manu Ba'i Asara, and when you don't read it on the proper time, you need to have 10 people to read it. The ayin b'miri the aber af b'yachid yosei, who says that even you read it by yourself, you'd be yosei. The ayin the command sof simin tafreit sadik b'Mishna Berura. Let's go see the end of tafreit sadik in the Mishna Berura. Achein efshar desagi b'katanim. You can even include katanim. However, who rock mishum presuming nisa, because it's at this point you're only reading for presuming nisa. B'yayin b'ran she mistapik le'inyan b'nei hakfarim she makdimin lekroa imachayev lekroso gambalayla odai b'kros b'yom. And there's the Ron talks about the case of if you move it up earlier, if you have to read it at night also, or is reading during the day good enough?
Right. That's
Okay.
something important to know, right? Does it have to read twice or just once during the day?
Okay. Upashat hu adin linyan mafarshe v'yosef b'sara, and it's clear that this rule would apply similarly to people who are on a boat or on a caravan. Tour mashma katsas historically called gambalayla, and for the words of the tour, there's certainly an indication that you should probably also read at night. The da'od, you should also know the hakul otse b'sara'o lemifroshe b'yam. Somebody goes out on a caravan, is going to travel on the sea. Who rock l'inyan kriyas megillah? There's only the case of kriyas megillah. You're out to bring it early. Aval sudas purim v'chein shalach manos matanos yomin lo yakem el bizmano. But the other mitzvahs of the day, such as Sudas Purim and Shalach Manos and Matanos of Yonim, you only fulfill them if you do them on the right day. You can even start reading from the beginning of the month. Asher Nefchaf Miyagon L'Simcha. And because it says, I guess in the Megillah itself, this is a month dedicated to joy and Simcha. You go back and read it again on the 14th. Hainu b'brachosecha, because now you can say the brachas. Daha zmanahu, because this is the proper time to read the Megillah.
Very good.
Okay. Ches ben ir shahaya the sfina o bedera v'lo haya yardo Megillah v'achakach nizdamen lo b'tesvav kuriso b'tesvav. So somebody from a city who would normally read on the 14th, who's on a boat or on the road, and he doesn't have a Megillah with him, and afterwards he finds a Megillah on the 15th, he should read it on the 15th.
That's a very big kiddush. Yeah.
Okay.
He's reading Dalit, and his time really passed, but still, we'll have to see if he gets a Megillah somehow on Tezvav. He reads on Tezvav.
Okay.
But it would probably, but that would be without a bracha, though, right? If it's
right, exactly.
Like,
that's
that's
what the Mishna Berura says. Koroso b'tesvav below bracha, without a bracha. Dikfar over ikar zman, because the time for him has already passed. About b'tesvav ve'elach lo b'tesvav. But after the 15th, you don't read it all. Diksiv below yavo, you should not pass over this. V'im tar v'korei parshas Megillah v'adar rishon. If you made a mistake and you read Megillah during Adar Rishon, like we had this year, tzarich lo lachazer korei b'sheni. You have to read again in Adar Beis.
Right. So if a person the other day read the Megillah by mistake, so he'd have to obviously read it again on Adar Beis.
With a bracha.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, because he did his reading this month was really nothing.
There's nothing.
Okay.
Okay. Very good.
Parak.
Very good. Perfect.
Okay.
Danny. Perfect timing. Fine, Mitzvah Shem will continue tomorrow. Everyone should have a good day.
We're
All
gonna
right, have a
keep-
good day, everybody.
Hope to
We're
see you all tomorrow.
continuing with the tougher H paid Tet.
Yes, we will. Bez Hashem.
Okay, all right, just
Okay.
checking. I just want to make sure I got the right, keep the
No
right
problem.
page marker.
Okay, very good. Have a good day.
Okay, everybody have a good
Lou.
day.
Have a
Be
good day,
well.
Ronald. Shalom, bye.